move on, and let's now welcome on board Dalip Sehgal, the Executive Director and CEO at Nexus Select Trust, joining in on the show right now. Mr. Sehgal, great to have you in the show. You know, we've seen consumption growth of 18%, footfall growth of 14%. But tell me how the early trends are emerging within third quarter. I'm guessing it would be similar strong. Mr. Sehgal, could you unmute your mic? We didn't even get a single word of what you're saying.
Sorry about that.
Not at all.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, okay, so thank you. And yeah, the season this year, the festive season is actually across 2 months, October and November. Last year, both Dussehra and Diwali were in October. So you have to look at the trends this year as a combination of both, which is October and November. We had 2 weeks of Pitru Paksha as well, Shraddh in October. So last 4 weeks have been very good. And the Diwali buying also has been extremely strong. So my overall sense is that this quarter also should be quite strong compared to last year.
All right. So can you give us a sense then, Mr. Sehgal, as to which of the segments it is that have grown faster than the average, and more important, going ahead, which are the segments do you believe will lead growth?
Yeah, I think that's a fair question. 3-4 categories that are doing extremely well. Entertainment, for example, has done extremely well, especially when you have, some good movies coming up, especially now in November. We have a big blockbuster right now. 2, F&B, food and beverages is doing extremely well, much higher than the 18% overall growth that we got. Beauty has picked up dramatically, and there have been new brands that have come on board as well. So overall, if you look at it, beauty has grown well, and so has part of the fashion business. So the top-end fashion business also has done extremely well. Finally, electronics is one category that has done very well during the festive season, both at the Dussehra time as well as Dhanteras and now in Diwali. Electronics. So these are the 5-6 categories that have overperformed the 18% average that we did last quarter.
Right. Now, the sequential growth in Q2 was led by the marquee asset, which is Select City Walk. Have tenant sales here picked up in other malls as well? And what has been the traction for Select City Walk and the outlook down the line?
Yeah. So you're right. So the fact is that Select did extremely well. They had an opening of, the second Apple store, as you know. One opened in Mumbai, the other one opened in Select. So that has helped consumption growth as well. But all other malls as well, all the other 16 malls as well, have grown quite well. Obviously, they've ranged from high single digits to high double digits. But the fact is that every single mall has actually grown over the previous year, with obviously Select City, leading the pack with a very robust growth happening because of Apple, because of the fact that they've also had 2 new stores coming in, new F&B coming in, so they have an Adidas flagship, they have a Nike flagship. So all of that has actually helped Select as well. But all other marquee assets, whether it's Bangalore, whether it's Hyderabad, Chennai, Chandigarh, in fact, New Mumbai has done extremely well. One of our fastest growing assets, 1 million square feet, is in Mumbai, Navi Mumbai. So actually, the growth has been quite significant across all the assets.
You've spoken about adding 3 malls in the southern part of the country as well, right? With the nearly 1 million square feet of space addition. When will the acquisitions be complete, and what kind of revenue potential do you see here?
So a couple of things. One is that we currently are in a phase where there is a non-binding agreement. So we can't really share too many details. But all going well, I think with the due diligence process currently on, if everything works out, then early next year, I think the deal should get over. Yeah.
Okay. Meantime, how much of your overall area is coming up for releasing? Do you have any plans in place for price hikes?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So if you look at historically, about 20%, 10 to 20% of area could come up for leasing. average is around 10-11%. In some years, it's a little higher, but you can take an average of about 10% of leases coming up for renewal every year. And the upside that we get in the last 3 to 4 years has been around 20% on the lease rentals. This year, in the first half of the year, we've again seen a 10% kind of a releasing, and the spread has actually been better. It's been 24%. So what it actually means is that the releasing rentals are now 20% higher than the rentals that were there in the old leases. So that is a very, very strong trend. We are also 97% leased. So in a sense, there isn't very much more left to be leased. It's essentially now a lot of area that actually comes up for releasing, which is where we can make a difference. And that's where we're looking to premiumize the entire portfolio, bring in better brands, bring in more marquee brands as we go forward. So now it's no longer saying, hey, can we get to 98% or 99%? That's not physically possible. So we're almost at the top end of the leasing cycle. Now really it's a question of how do we actually premiumize the entire offering. So that's the intent really for quarter 3 and 4, and then going forward into FY25.
Sehgal, great to have you in the show. Thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us today.